Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Creativity is charismatic. Creativity is charismatic. Now, y'all know Rom, my main thing is the body game, right? My main thing is the body game. But I would say this, and it's actually included in what I usually talk about anyway, right? When I talk about the three main pillars that a select man is going to have. And that's, the physicality, the charisma, and the masculinity, right? Now, I always said if you got at least one of them, you're going to get some attention, right? So definitely with the physicality. And usually most guys going to have at least two anyway. But if you got at least a physicality, you're going to draw somebody, right? You're going to draw somebody. If you got some charisma, you're going to draw somebody. And then if you got the masculinity, right? But focusing now on the charismatic part, the creativity. Now, for the most part, the dudes who are going to be select do have that body thing, right? But have you ever seen those guys? They might be, they might be a short stature. They might be a little extra slim, and they might be overweight. But they tearing up some women. And it's usually on that charisma part, but not just the charisma part, because as I've talked about in previous podcasts, there's a lot of things that are charismatic to a woman, magnetic to a woman. One of the things is creativity. Being a creative person is very significant. Very significant. And it could be a creativity in so many different ways, right? Have you noticed? I remember a joke by Eddie Murphy, and this was back in early 80s. He did his first concert, and he was talking about this band that was touring with him. He called them the Bus Boys because his joke was, reason he became a comedian was to get women. But he wasn't getting it like the Bus Boys, this particular group. Because he said the way they were fucking so many women, they were fucking everything that moved. They said, shit, they go by the aquarium or something, the fish would stop swimming. Right? But if you look at these creative people, it could be in different areas. They could be comedians. Like a lot of comedians, I'm going to tell you what, a lot of comedians have actually said they start being funny to get women. And they could be overweight, whatever, but they be getting those women. People say it's making them laugh, but it's the creativity. Definitely singers. It don't matter. You look at some of those singers and stuff. Shoot, women throw the panties on stage. And the singers, you know what? They might look like they ain't even walk near a gym. But they start singing. Women go crazy because it's a creativity thing, right? And I'm going to get into the metaphysics of it. I know I don't usually discuss metaphysics on this channel, but I'm going to get into the metaphysics of it, right? But, or it could be anything. Poets. You ever see those poets? Man, I'm going to tell you what. You want to see some players, a lot of those poets. You go to those poetry thing, they always got some women ready. Like poets, like true poets. They always get some plays, like, especially if they got some poetry that, like, glorifies the women. They say, my queen, you're just so beautiful. You're on the top of the world and everything. My queen. Yeah, I ain't that much of a poet. But poets, shoot. I saw one poet one time, and now this dude, he was indecent. He could have stood to lose some weight. But he had a big upper body, though, so he had that basic thing that women like, right? And, but he hit this one with some poetry, right? He was at this little show. He brought her up, sat her down, hit her with some poetry. The way her legs were twitching, I was like, damn. Like that creativity thing. Or even me, right? Like I said, I ain't a poet, but a lot of people just associate me with the relationship books. Those are just what sell the best. Those are what just sell the best. Y'all be surprised how much play I got from women who read my fiction. That's a creative thing. Like they read my books and they were like, oh yeah, I like how you just put everything together. You put me in a world. That's a creativity thing, right? That's charismatic. Like I would tell any man, all right, because even with the body thing, it could be a lot of work. It can be a lot of work, but you got some creativity to you. Like you could play a musical instrument. You could recite that poetry. You can do that creative writing. Even creative in how you express it, even in how you talk. It's got a creativity to it. If you just got that creative energy to you, however you express it, women are drawn to it. Now, I say, I don't usually get into the metaphysics side of things here, but really, if you look at the womb, a woman's womb, when they turned on by a guy, right? When they turned on, their womb goes into effect. And they are turned on through their emotions, right? And through their emotions, that affects the womb. What does a woman use her womb for? Not just for pleasure. To help create a child. To nurture a child. That's her creativity. And in fact, on a deeper metaphysics level, it's the key to a woman like doing something creative herself is her womb. Her creativity comes from the womb. A man's creativity stimulates her womb. That's why pimps and preachers do very well. Anybody who speak, if you speak in, that's part of the mouthpiece. Like how you talking to a woman, how you expressing yourself. That's just your mere conversation is creative. And you got somebody who can talk creatively, change their tone up, have a certain tone of voice, whether arrange your words in such a way that comes off as creative. So you can stimulate her. So anybody who has that naturally, that's a power right there. It's such a power that even if the guy looks average, heck, in some cases, depending on what he's creative at, even ugly, women still go crazy because that creativity stimulates her. She's drawn to it. She's drawn to the creative force in man. Understand that. If that man can truly be creative, and not a creative liar, let me be clear on that, but something that creates, it could be the music thing, it could be how he speaks, it can even be the dancing. Like a man could dance, like a damn man can go to an ordinary dance club. If he can dance creatively, that woman's getting wet. Any sign of creativity in a man touches the woman. Any sign of creativity, any sign of real creativity. Like a lot of guys still are so focused on, the rational part, the serious part, and should be, but it don't always touch a woman unless she specifically needs that from you at that moment. And even then, that's more of a rational thing. And then as soon as that creative dude come or the alpha showpiece comes, she's gone. But like if you're a musician, like, what I would tell, because I was told about this one guy, but he didn't reach out to me. A mutual friend was trying to like get him to get coaching from me. I would have told him, "Oh, you play an instrument? It was some type. I forgot what type of horn." My main thing would have been, okay, I need you to play that horn, practice with it, then find any open mic events or anything you can go play it. And I said, some women gonna like it. All you need it, you can go there, and I guarantee, like I used to hang out at open mic poetry readings. I used to hang out there, and I'd be sitting there and I just watch the women. How they respond. In fact, even though I say I'm not a poet, I actually read a poem in one of those, and it was like this woman was. It wasn't as good as one of those slam poets or master poets. It was nowhere near that, right? But this one woman, I never forget. This one woman was like, "Oh, that was beautiful. That was nice. I like that," and she was getting interested. And so I was like, yeah, any creativity, there's just having that creativity will draw women to you. And here's the thing. It will draw the most compatible women to you because you touch her in a way. Seriously. Like I said, just even having a creative conversation or what you're saying, that's the pimp and the preacher game. Notice I said pimp and preacher and how they present themselves. And singing, oh, Lord. Dude, I'm going to tell you something now. If your ass can sing and can't get no play, something wrong with you. There's something else wrong with you. When I say sing, shit. Like, you look at Barry White, you look at Gerald Levert, You look at some of these guys, they look at Rom's, I be trying to say body game to them, and they be like, yeah, that's good, Rom. Hey, yo, I'm about to put some stuff out on the grill. All right, you want some of this? Be in the middle of the winter and stuff. They say, shoot, yeah, Rom. Yeah, you good. You go work out, bruh. And then they look at that woman coming. They say, hey, dip it, dip it, dip it. Hit that Luther on that woman. Shit, she getting wet right there on the spot. But it's the creativity. It's the creativity. However a man expresses it is charismatic to a woman. Right? So, anyway, that's all I got for today. I'll talk to y'all. Peace.